Dear viewers, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you watch this channel. I'd like to start by appreciating everyone who is making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. I said some times back there that I almost stopped using NGUNYI's tweets to make analysis. But this will be my second analysis on NGUNYI, despite the fact that I noticed that he was, doing most of pro-RUTO tweets and anti-Raila tweets. But then there is something that he has shared in his Twitter handle, and I think this is worth analyzing. NGUNYI has told or has sent a shocking message to William Ruto directly. And for this tweet, I think it's good if we go through it. And this is what NGUNYI says. The Bible says, King Rehoboam, son of Solomon, was foolish. People cried to him to reduce taxes. He replied, "If the taxes of my father Solomon were heavy, I will make them heavier. If he injured you with whips, I will use scorpions." They killed him, dear Ruto. Listen to the people. This event took place during the reign of Rehoboam, son of Solomon, approximately 200 years before Isaiah lived. To finance his massive building projects, Solomon had taxed the people heavily during his reign. Following his death, the 10 northern tribes appealed for relief from the heavy tax burden, but Rehoboam refused. The Israelites returned home in rebellious anger. Rehoboam sent the head of that day's Internal Revenue Service to either collect some overdue revenues or negotiate. The Israelites assassinated him. Fearing the northern 10 tribes' secession, the Jews raised an army and prepared to go to war against their northern brethren. At that point, God directly intervened by sending a prophet to deliver the message contained in verse 24. Dear viewers, Professor NGUNYI has sent a shocking tweet regarding what might happen to a government that is hell-bent in creating a good economy by burdening the people of that country. So political analyst NGUNYI has been forced to go into the Bible to revisit the leadership of popular kings. So he revisited the story of King Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, who he described as a foolish king, who decided to levy heavy taxes on people after they asked him to bring down the taxes, and in the end, he was killed. So dear viewers, what does that leave us, ladies and gentlemen? This should be a awakening call to William Samoei Ruto and those leaders who are saying that the finance bill will pass regardless. It is quite barbaric, if I may term it, that some leaders said that tutapitisha hii finance bill bila kutoa hata koma, whereas on the same time they are conducting public participation. Why are they conducting public participation, yet some leaders in the Kenya Kwanza formation have declared that they will pass the bill as is? What does that mean? 2 days ago, after the Jubilee NDC, William Ruto had a PG meeting with all the parliamentarians allied to Kenya Kwanza, all the CSS, all the PS, and some of the contained discussions in that meeting were that the finance bill must be passed. William Ruto himself has maintained that the 3% tax on housing levy will be passed regardless. I was listening to the PS for, I think, the housing, in charge of that, the docket that is in charge of housing project. And I listened to the deliberations of that PS, and I could tell that there is no hope in this project. I managed to understand from his statements that you can, I mean, this is something that we never knew, but he said you can decide to get out of that plan. I mean, if you're taxed 3%, your employer pays 3%, and then 7 years down the line, you want to exit the plan, he said that it's possible, but you will not be given the employer's portion. You will only be given the portion that was deducted from you. Now, this is what we find pretty interesting, because how sure are you that when you decide to exit that plan, you will be given all the money? Probably you will not be given all the money, because if you be given your savings, but then the savings from the employer will not be given to you until extra 7 years, then what does that mean? What that means is that you might not be able to get the 7% or the 3% contributed by your employer. So that means the employers watakuwa naumia. This tweet from Professor Mutahi NGUNYI should be awakening call to the rogue leaders who said that the finance bill should pass as is. That is not welcomed in this society. I sense malice in what these leaders say. Professor Mutahi NGUNYI's bombshell should hit William Ruto's camp and should leave him flat-footed if he values the lives of the people and if he values the future of his regime. I think this should be a message to him that rebellion is on the offing. Should I remind these people about the prophecy of Pastor Ezekiel? Should I remind him? Should I remind those people about that prophecy? Somehow, I think Pastor Ezekiel was right when he said there will be rebellion, and this rebellion will likely come from the Mount Kenya and the regions that are perceived to be Kenya Kwanza regions. Lately, we'll be sharing some shots on people, on messages from the Mount Kenya, messages from the Rift Valley. Some people going to an extent of apologizing for having campaigned for this regime. We've seen people from the Mount Kenya cry to an extent that they are regretting. So that explains why most people are now saying they would rather stick with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta as the party leader of Jubilee. And we made an analysis on that aspect yesterday. So Mutahi NGUNYI's tweet makes a lot of sense. And politicians in the Kenya Kwanza faction should treat that tweet with all the respect it deserves. That King Rehoboam was advised by the locals to stop putting more tax on the people. But what did he do? He ended up taxing more than his father's threshold on taxes, that is King Solomon. So when he sent the representative, when he sent the taxman to go and collect more taxes from the people assassinated the taxman. What does that mean? The people did not like what was subjected to them. So the people might rebel against KRA. So this is one thing that I think the leadership of Kenya Kwanza should look at extensively and should do that with all the urgency it deserves. It all is not lost, and time is of the essence here, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, kindly tell us below the comment section whether you think Mutahi NGUNYI's tweet makes sense. Tell us below the comment section, and once again, I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.